What would be funny after a loss like tonight's, John Kruk? We're going to find out from you coming up in a moment. I don't think there's anything to laugh at. 20-24 and a 5-game losing streak after a 10-1 loss. Ruben Amaro Jr. I'm Michael Barkann. We'll laugh when it's funny, but this is not funny. This is terrible. And I'll tell you something else. Trey Turner, their big off-season sign, I'll wager that he has never heard boos like that from his hometown crowd. Get used to it, Trey Turner. You go 0 with a strikeout on a night like tonight when your team needs a win. Ranger Suarez with 60-some-odd pitches doesn't get past the second inning. Ruben, what do you make of this team that has an identical record as last year's team that went to the World Series? Why does this feel not as good?
Well, that's the only positive I think you can take out of this game is that they're in a situation where they literally cannot win baseball games. They're just playing very sloppy baseball. 3 base hits against this team. With all due respect, Marcus Stroman has pitched very well against them over the last couple of years. There's no question about it, particularly last year. But for them to just squeak out 3 bases, this is too high-powered an offense for them to be, kind of rolling over. I know that, that second inning with Ranger Suarez was kind of a tough one. And it was difficult to bounce back, but you cannot give up at that point. And it felt to me like they're not competing the way they should be competing, and that is a concern for me.
All right. Let's go across the street. Let's go to the comedy club right now. Let's go to the levity. Let's go to 2.5 Men. Here he is, right? He's appearing all week there, their arms crossed. If he was in arm's reach, he'd smack me. All right, tell me what's so funny, John Kruk. Go ahead, because I think this is just brutal.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you can't laugh about things going wrong, and sometimes you have to laugh about it because this is not very good. I'm not saying laugh about it. Look, these players are pissed. They if you saw the camera shot, there was a few of them still left in that dugout down there, not very happy with the way they've been playing lately, and rightfully so. But the beauty of it is they still got 100 and something left.
Yeah, we keep saying that, Johnny.
I know it's dwindling quick.
It is dwindling quick. It's getting late now. We're way past the quarter pole of the season. When you look at this team, I just bounced this off Ruben. They got the same record after 44 games as they had last season. It feels different. Maybe because we didn't know what was in store last season, but this doesn't feel like a team that's got any sniff of a World Series.
Well, I think the biggest thing is, Michael, is the starting pitching compared to last year. Last year, you knew you had guys that were going to give you innings, and Ranger was one of those guys. Well, now you got 2 starts out of Ranger. He hasn't gone deep into the games, so you have to use your bullpen a lot. But, if our starting pitching was the same as it was last year, you would think, okay, we're going to turn this thing around. But it hasn't been, and that's why you have long losing streaks like this. Look, we have great pitchers. Wheeler and Aaron Nola. I love Ranger Suarez, but I can just harken back to Curt Schilling. I don't think Curt Schilling would have allowed a 5 or 6 game losing streak to happen.
Yeah,
that just wasn't in his DNA. Look, it's been ugly, and it wasn't just tonight. It's been ugly for the last 5 games. And, I think – look, I don't know if it's in Rob's personality. Like when Larry Bowe was our manager, we knew when we played this bad, we were going to get our asses chewed off at the end of the game. I don't think Rob's like that, though. But, see, we expected that. We knew that from Larry because Larry's a fiery competitor, and – Rob's more stoic, and I think that was the biggest thing with him, when they fired Girardi last year, was the calming influence that Rob had. Well,
yeah, I agree with you, but it's not last year.
But listen,
okay.
if he goes in there and yells at him, the players are going to say he's full of it. He don't yell. He's yelling now because he's trying to prove a point to us, but that don't work. He's not a yeller, and if you're not a yeller, you go in there and yell, players are going to turn you off, and that's the quickest thing to a crappy season that you can have when they people don't start believing in the manager anymore.
Hey, John, is there somebody in the clubhouse other than the manager, a player that you think can step forward? Because that always seems to be something that is more effective to me. I mean, obviously we played with Darren Dalton. That was the one guy that we felt was able to handle this. Is there somebody in that clubhouse you think can step forward?
Well, it has to be Bryce. It has to be Bryce, or it has to be Nick or JT, because they're having, Bryce is Bryce. I mean, if Bryce speaks, you listen. But Nick's having a really good year. JT's having a really good year. Those are the guys that, the veteran players that have to step up and it's not like Darren never jumped up and yelled at us and threatened to fight people and stuff. It was just very calm the way he went about it. Ruben, and sometimes it was pull you to the side by yourself and say, hey, let's straighten this stuff out and get it going. But I don't think you're at a point. I don't think you're at a point now where, let's yell and scream at him and try to scare him into playing better. I just don't think that'll work.
Well, all I know is they've lost 5 games by 9 or more runs now. They're on a 5-game losing streak. Over the past 16 games, they've had a 6-gamer and a 5-gamer and the 4-gamer to start the season and another 5-gamer earlier in the season. And it just doesn't seem I just want to see the hope. And I know these guys are good. I know they got Real Muto and Harper and Castellanos and this young guy Bohm and Brandon Marsh, and they got Nolan Wheeler. We're talking about an all-star team, seemingly, but they're failing to do it on the field. That's what's concerning me. It turns out this was funny, John. It really was. I think it was a riot. We're going to simulcast the roundtable, okay? We're just going to follow you in there. I think it's going to be amazing. Hey, guess what else?
Ruben,
Wait. Go ahead.
Ruben.
Yes.
Ruben.
Yes,
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
How much time do you have left with him tonight?
That is a great question.
We drive each other home. Are you kidding? I drop him off one night, he drops me off the other.
It won't be a short one.
It won't be.
No,
all right, buddy.
Good luck.
Oh, I can't wait till tomorrow night already. We're going to start the post-game show and the pregame.
I tell you what. They better win tomorrow, so I don't have to listen to y'all no more about this stuff.
Oh, yeah. We get ready for it.
Thanks, Johnny.
All right, John. Thanks so much, buddy.
Tomorrow.
John
Kruk
Kruk joining us. I know he does. Joining us, of course, in the booth. And this is what he was talking about. It's Alec Bohm right there throwing some helmets and equipment. Brandon Marsh in the dugout. And you heard there's Paco Figueroa, Castellanos coming down. His numbers, just 2 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 4 earned runs. And you see those 66 total pitches and the shortest start of his career. He threw 41 of them in the 2nd inning. And Ruben and I watched the game separately at the ballpark today, and I did not have the ability to hear the announcer sound. And I said, what's up with Suarez? And you said, you can't let a guy throw that many pitches, keep him in the game.
Yeah, 39 strikes, 27 balls, that kind of ratio, that's not going to work. I mean, you got to be able to throw more consistent strikes. If you don't, you're in trouble. And that's exactly what happened with Ranger Suarez. He's got to establish his fastball for a strike. That will make his changeup better. We talked about it earlier in the pregame. He did not do that, and the Cubs capitalized. These guys can swing the bats a little bit, and this is a major league team. Doesn't matter. It could have been, a AAA team. If you leave the pitches in the middle of the plate, they're going to get whacked, and that's exactly what happened with Ranger this evening. 5
straight losses now and counting. What can Rob Thomson possibly say? Here he is post-game.
It was a Ranger in that second inning, right?
Well, really, it was, he looked like Ranger mid-season, the first 2 hitters, and then, it was a walk and 2 walks, and pitch count got way up there. Looked like, he's trying to find his changeup, and then I don't know whether fatigue set in the 2nd inning, but he got the ball up, not over the plate, it looked like, and still it didn't look like he could find his changeup. They weren't biting on it anyway. But then his pitch count got so high, and coming off injury, I couldn't let him go back out.
What did you make out of the fact that he was able to strike those 3 guys out to?
Yeah, it's weird. He got 6 outs, and 4 of them were strikeouts. And then there were walks and hits in between. So we got to look at it.
Do you chalk it up to rust?
Yeah, I think a little bit is rust, but we got to look at everything.
Normally in
different situation, you could maybe just chalk it up as rust, but just considering how the starting pitching has been going lately,
Yeah.
the lack of pitching deep, how concerning is it right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's we're taxing our bullpen, that's for sure.
How much did tonight impact what you do on Sunday?
Well, we'll have to see what happens tomorrow, I guess.
When you said you have to look at everything, is there something that sticks out to you about it being not rust, right?
Well, I don't know whether he's giving something away. Could be, I don't know, but we look at that stuff all the time and try to figure that one out too.
Was it just something you saw tonight that night?
No, not specifically, but
How concerned just in general are you with the way you're a little over a quarter of the season? It's not late, but it's not early either.
yeah, we need to get it going. We really do. We need to fight our way out of this thing. This whole stretch where you win, or what is it? Win 4, lose 6, win 5, lose 5. I'm not sure if I've seen a stretch like this. We got to figure that out.
What's the message to the team after?
You got to fight your way out of it, and you can't come in here tomorrow and feel sorry for yourself, or something goes, or you get down early in the game and think, well, here we go again. That's not the way they think, and not the way I think. You got to fight your way out of it.
You didn't use Clemens to start the day only because you weren't allowed to, right?
Right. Yeah. Once Morel hit the home run, then we went right to him. I didn't want to put too many pitches on Bilotti.